It has now officially been over a year since we got a proper Nintendo General Direct. And now that we are smack dab right in the middle of September, I think the time has passed on when Nintendo would normally deliver one of these big presentations. Since the Switch launched, Nintendo has normally held a General Direct in September, outlining the rest of said calendar year, including showing off their holiday releases and such. They had one in 2017, the first year the Switch was available. They had one in 2018, and they had one last year in 2019. All three of these quarter 3 General Directs were held within the first 2 weeks of September. Now, we are pretty much past that, and it seems that they've gotten most of their last few big announcements out to the public without having to hold such a traditional General Direct. Almost 2 weeks ago, as of this writing, Nintendo shadow dropped a Super Mario 35th Anniversary Direct Mini that displayed many upcoming releases for the Mario series. The key announcement being the official reveal of the long-rumored Super Mario 3D All-Stars, a collection of 3 Mario ports of very popular Mario 3D platforming classics. Those being Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and of course, Super Mario Galaxy. Then, just last week, Nintendo did another huge shadow drop out of nowhere when they revealed Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, a sequel to Hyrule Warriors as well as a prequel to Breath of the Wild, which is slated for a November 2020 release. Another thing that's notable about this shadow dropped announcement was, unlike Mario 3D All-Stars, this title wasn't leaked at all and was seemingly unknown amongst all the quote-unquote credible insiders. The reason these two key events is important to the topic of this video is because both of these announcements were made right in the ballpark of the timeline given by gaming journalist Jeff Grubb, who said to expect some announcements from the Big N by the 15th of September. And we have gotten both the Mario Celebration Direct Mini and the new Hyrule Warriors game announced before September 15th. So many within the fandom, myself included, have come to the realization that Nintendo probably has no plans at all to have any General Directs this year. Aside, of course, from the variety of minis that they've been doing throughout the year, like partner showcases and stuff like that. The shadow dropping technique that Nintendo has been using since the springtime has mixed reception at best, and if not at worst, pulling completely on the negative side of things. Many have said they prefer sitting through and reacting to a live premiere that showcases all of Nintendo's big announcements, usually by sitting through a general Nintendo Direct presentation. But this year has pretty much deprived all of us of this type of live reactions that we'd like to do for content purposes. A great example of this was back in March. Nintendo shadow dropped the closest thing to a General Direct that we've gotten all year. The Direct Mini that announced ARMS Fighter for Smash, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and so much more that was announced in this presentation. And what did Nintendo do? They just uploaded the whole thing to their YouTube channel without any prior announcement of it. This was not a popular move for us content creators because we were robbed of the chance to truly live react to many great announcements that were in that Direct Mini, especially since this presentation was shadow dropped just weeks into the pandemic going global. The last thing any of us expected was to hear from Nintendo that early on, after pretty much all massive gaming conventions were being cancelled out left, right, and center. But, as it turned out, it was a harbinger of things to come. Paper Mario, the Origami King, was announced by being shadow dropped out of nowhere in the summer. Pikmin 3 Deluxe was announced by being shadow dropped out of nowhere this summer. The Mario 35th Direct Mini was shadow dropped without any warning this summer, and again, most recently of all, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was announced by being shadow dropped out of nowhere this summer. So, with their most recent announcement being for a game that's set to release in November, and the Mario Celebration now being in the books as well, most of us are of the mindset that Nintendo's announcements regarding first-party games has probably been wrapped up with the Hyrule Warriors sequel being revealed, and all quarter 4 releases slapped on top of it, such as Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So, what does that mean for our favorite crossover title by the name of Smash Ultimate? Well, it could mean a couple of things, really. The least likely option, but again there's small potential for this to happen, is an announcement for a Sakurai Presents ... to be announced in the coming weeks to month that will reveal who the character is, go over how they function in Smash, and when they're set to release. Pretty much what they've already done twice already. They did this for Byleth to end the first Fighters Pass in January, and they did this to officially reveal Min Min as the Arms fighter and first character of Volume 2 back in June. It has nearly been 3 whole months since Min Min was released as the sole character of Fighters Pass Volume 2. And with every week that goes by with utter silence in regards to most things in Nintendo, but especially Smash, with every week and month that passes by, to me, it seems ever the more likely that we will not be getting another character released to us as DLC this year. And the only Fighter Pass Volume 2 release of 2020 will solely be Min Min. I know this is not going to be the more popular option of the two, but at this point I'm starting to think it's the one that's far more likely. If there does happen to be a reveal in the next 4 weeks, I shall eat a ton of crow. But until then, I'm sticking to my guns here. The pass has a deadline to get all 6 characters of Fighters Pass Volume 2 released by December 31st of 2021. So they're giving themselves pretty much all of next year to get this Fighters Pass done. They didn't make that placeholder date for nothing. I think they thought that they would need a decent chunk of 2021 to get it all done, but now with the pandemic causing a lot of issues for Nintendo, specifically, they really need the majority of next year to get these characters out. Now, there is always a small sliver of a chance that we get the next Challenger Pack this year, but if October comes and goes with no Smash announcements, then you be best assured there will be no release to tie in for Christmas time for us Westerners, or like the holiday season. But now, to tie it back to the topic of this General Direct drought, I have some parting questions for you guys. You fellow gamers within the Nintendo fandom, please answer me these few pondering thoughts, if you will. Is it strictly because of the pandemic that Nintendo has changed their model of making announcements? And when things clear up and the world becomes less contagious and more safe, will we see a return to the way things once were? Or is this now going to be their preferred method of getting these big gaming announcements out? As in, they had to start doing things this way due to the climate of the world, and have now actually come to prefer it. Which means keeping the shadow dropping formula even in a world that's post-pandemic. Essentially, what I'm asking is, will this year cause general Nintendo Directs to become a thing of the past? But honestly, what I'm more intrigued with is what you guys think. I would love to hear all of your comments about the subjects that were touched upon in this week's video. Also, here's another big life announcement that I need to address and get out of the way. I started my first semester of university on Thursday, and I'm going to be very busy during the regular 5-day week going forward, Monday through Friday, that sort of stuff. Pretty much all the gaming commentary going forward will be worked upon on weekends. The script, the writing, the editing, and of course the publishing. I'm still going to try my best, despite the busyness of post-secondary education, to keep you guys entertained at least once a week with my Nintendo discussion videos. So keep this in mind when it comes to this channel moving forward for not only the coming months, but the next few years as well. Anyway, now it is time to move on to the cheapest of plugs. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the video again, and as you can see by the lovely little graphic in front of you, there is a list to all of my social media and gaming presences. So please add and follow me on all those platforms to stay as up to date as you can with all of my content going forward. And for those of you who are new to the channel and enjoyed what you've seen and heard, please click on that lovely little subscribe button, and thank you all so very much for watching.